Happy Thursday, boys and girls. My name is Jeffery Scott Mitchell, and I'm coming to you live on Memorex, default route, default location. In the year 2026, I would like to wish everyone a very happy new year and send New Year wishes to everyone, because, you know, traditionally you make resolutions, and even I, over the years, have said, new year, new me. I'm gonna start this, either doing this, I'm gonna start eating right, start doing that, start doing this, the new year. So it's kind of a, you know, a starting point for a lot of people to get motivated to do something. And I was thinking I basically do that every day. I do set times where I say, all right, you know, I'm gonna keep doing this until Monday and then no more. But my resolutions and life-changing things and things I need to adjust are evaluated daily and probably acted upon at least 2-3 times a week. Speaking of which, my health is a lot better. I feel a lot better ever since I quit smoking Black & Milds. I did have a slip up, and I should say that I reduced my Black & Milds, because I think I'm gonna probably keep doing them on the weekend, because for some reason I may be not addicted to them, but yeah, it's something. It's nice to have that to look forward to. It's nice to have that to look forward to. Of course, I'm not trying to do it every day. Be on the weekends, and I even want to try to regulate how much I do it on the weekends, because feeling good feels good. Feeling good feels good, and I feel good right now, and I want to keep this feeling. I want to keep this feeling. I've said this there ain't no probably. I've said this before. When I went to the doctor and I got the antibiotic and it seemed to clear out my sinus infection or whatever was going on in there, and I was taking some Sudafed to kind of do whatever it did, drain me or this or that, I just feel a lot better. I feel a lot better, and it shows in my work, at work. It shows when I'm walking like this. I'm walking faster. I'm walking the same route that I've been walking, but I'm getting back home like 10, 15 minutes earlier. That's probably an exaggeration. And there's probably some other circumstances involved where I'm leaving earlier or something. Something's going on. But I'm getting back with having like, not lots of time, but you know, extra time that I was having for even on my short walks, at lunch and at break and stuff. My work performance came back yesterday, weekly performance. My utilization number is up. I'm just operating much more efficiently, much more smoothly. Feels a lot better. My nose ain't been hurt. My sinuses ain't been aching and hurting. I ain't had a headache in probably at least a week, maybe a couple weeks, maybe a week. No nasal pain, nothing. You know, it didn't make me want to go and thank the doctor with her young ass self. Everybody's young now, you're old. You just gotta trust people. You know, you really can't have anything against the age of people who assist you, like your doctor or like your lawyer or whatever. Sometimes you want somebody young. And there could be a situation or a concern of respect for somebody so young. But I think I'm over that. I think I'm pretty much over that. Especially with the kids I work with at work. I'll lean on them in a minute. And they probably say, man, you've been working here longer than I've been living. You don't know this? I'll be like, nope. It's your job to tell me. Especially if you go up to level 2 and you half my age, you work for me now. We're a team. But, and that is a concern of mine as far as integrity and respect for the position, respect for the job, which has gotten a lot better. My attitude is a lot better. Everything is just, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. And happy 2026. And my 2026 is going to start off with making my funk to P-Funk. What kind of life is that? What kind of life am I living that where 2 weeks into the year, I get P-Funk? 3 nights. 3 nights of P-Funk in Southern California, basically Las Vegas, and San Diego. Let me tell you something about that. Let me skip right back to that now. That Las Vegas to San Diego trip, in my mind, it just seems like it should be boom, boom, nothing to it, but it gets you. It gets you. Driving to Vegas, hitting the show, and driving back from the show to San Diego. I did that a couple times, and it kind of wore me out. It snuck up on me. And I was like, geez, I'm tired. And I remember that one San Diego show, I was just whooped. I sat in the back. I got me a chair. It was like outside at some kind of beach pier or something. I got me a chair. I sat in the back and just sat. So, you know, I'm gonna be aware of that, which, like I said, is probably not too big a deal, but you know. And I'm looking at the P-Funk schedule, and they only got 3 dates. They only got 3 dates in the cities I was just said, and that's it. So the way I look at it is, you're doing a concert for me. They doing shows for me, that's it. I mean, no other shows. You know, they're gonna fly everybody out here, do whatever they gotta do. I wonder if they got some recording or gonna be doing something else out here. Getting together to perform or record or do something else. Cause you know, people usually be having, you know, like at least 9 or 10 or a string of dates. But just to have these 3, and that's it. And then I think January 31st, at the end of the month, on the 16th, 17th, 18th, they got this California, Nevada, Vegas tour. Prim is like right outside of Vegas. And I've been there before. I'm not sure if I've been at this casino before, you know, because sometimes the names change and such. But looking at these, you probably can't see them. Probably don't have the resolution high enough. But they cleaned it out in the camp. You can see where they have cars and trucks, and they usually have police out here. And I think counselors, actually. I actually think they have counselors and stuff to help with the people, because there's people living back there. You can see, look at all that stuff they're clearing out back there. And I was wondering, I literally was wondering, you know, how much activity, homeless activity goes on back there. Because I'm thinking if you, a certain kind of way, you're gonna want to have your, you know, you want to be out of the way. You don't want to be on the main part. You want to be like out of the way and hidden. You know, you don't want to be like walking right on this part where everybody walk. So as you see, there's like a lot going on over there. I don't know if you can see it now, but you know, there's a lot of stuff happening over there. A lot of stuff getting cleared out and whatnot. But anyway, so I got P-Funk coming up. I'm feeling good. Work is good. And not only that, I feel like I could work till I'm 70 now. So I don't have to, think about, I'm not so focused on retirement anymore. And I'm also a little bit embarrassed by the fact that I don't want to say that I blamed the way I feel on the job, or that the job was causing not stress, but the stress. The job was causing the stress, or the, not anxiety, but the pain and whatever I was going through. But that was really kind of my focus. I kind of did put a lot of it on the job, and it wasn't. It was me. I was unhealthy. I was sick. I guess you could say sick, I needed to get myself together. Then once I did, everything straightened up. Work, walking is faster, just feel better. Got that sinus stuff out of me. But it seemed like the sinus stuff had been going on for like a long time. So did I have an infection for like 2 years? Could that have been it? And then 7 days worth of antibiotics kills it? Or something like that. I mean, I might be exaggerating about the 2 years. But, it was a long time. And that's what I was saying about the young doctor. Went in there, primary care physician. She's like, not Indian, but that kind of, I don't want to say Pakistani, but that kind of, nationality or whatever. And she looked, she did her thing. She real straightforward. She ain't all talky, and I like that. And when I talk, she looks me in the face. We communicate. And so I'm cool with her. She hooked me up on the disability leave. I don't know if she hooked me up or not, but I look to her as doing the right thing in that position, in that situation. And she made the call. Antibiotic and this and that, and I feel a lot better. So that's why I wanted to thank her. And my insurance changed from Blue Cross to Aetna, and I'm with Optum, which has an office in my city. And then Optum takes Aetna also, so I'll be good to go as far as that's concerned. And I feel good. I got P-Funk coming up. 3 days. And of course, me taking everything personally. I mean, I know they ain't, doing it for me. In fact, that don't even make no sense. I mean, that makes sense, but, there's too many other factors. But it's nice to think, Or, better yet, let me put it this way, better yet, it feels, once again, good, blessed, highly favored, however you want to call it, to be Jeffery and to have this opportunity. To have the band touring the way it is, and I'm able to see them as much as I do. After 50 years, and I cannot overemphasize how significant I think that is to me personally, especially on a personal level, even on a non-personal level, on an objective level, to put it across the board, to think, if this happens, not to anybody, but to, who wouldn't be grateful or receptive to being this close to their passion, their deepest passion from being a teenager into their old age. And to still have that band out there performing and doing stuff and active and somewhat innovative. I mean, but then again, I guess you gotta say Mr. Clinton was definitely innovative. I can't say somewhat. Now, I particularly did not, I don't know if agree is the right word, but I definitely did not respond completely positively to some of the innovations that he made, mainly 3GP, the rap stuff. But I have to give credit or acknowledge the fact, and this is major, that the people buying the tickets appreciate it. His innovation, I guess. I mean, like I said, the white kids, they used to irk me. I go to the show, and I'm like the only black face in the audience. I'm like 30 shades darker and 30 years older than everybody around me. And I'm front row center, just killing it. Because that's my goddamn band. That's my music. And there's something about the music. There's something about it that just turns me up and turns me on. Turns me on and out. That's why it was imperative for me to see them at different places, see how they do it in Europe, see how they do it there, see how they do it all around the country, how they do it in Detroit. Detroit is the name that came up to me. And that's like one of the last ones that I ever made it to. A lot of people, players and stuff came out of Detroit. Detroit played a big part in P-Funk stories and lore. You know, United Sound, this and that, this and that. But and I always did want to get up there and do it with the Detroit Negroes to see how they get down. And I just recently, last couple of years, was able to do that. You know, I've done Chicago, Northern California. I think I did Portland, Humboldt. I think I did Dallas. No, I think I did Houston. I think I did one of those. I'm not sure, I gotta look. I think I did Texas. I think I went down there for a couple of those shows. Arizona, Cleveland, DC, Florida, New York City, Connecticut, New Haven, you know. In the South, I don't think I did, New Orleans, oh my God, how can I forget New Orleans? Jesus. And it was something that I wanted to do, or there was a major thing to see that band, different venues, different people, different crowd. And to see how they got down and see how things went. Tokyo, Australia, London, Paris, Amsterdam. This is what I do. Well, that's probably not what I do. What I do is computer technology. I'm a global analyst. I'm a help desk, basically. You could probably say I'm customer service to a degree. High level customer service. And now that I'm feeling better and getting my feet under me, I feel like I do feel a high level technician, high level analyst. I've said this before, but I love saying it. I'm doing what I do at a top level for the second largest law firm on the planet. Put that on your resume and go someplace and ask somebody something. And then the references I get that I can get from Latham, whoops, I said the name, from wherever I work for. I don't think I've ever said the name in all these podcasts, all these like 10 years of working there. I don't think I ever said the name. It'll actually be 12 years this year because I was a contractor. I ain't gonna go back and bleep it though. But I might just for kicks. No, I won't. I'm not. And to, just feel good. Just feel good. There's some things going on with the family as far as health and stuff that needs attention or is gonna warrant attention. And with my mother and this and that. And for the most part, I'm living the life. Went through a lot in 2025. I guess you could say I went through a lot. I probably did. I probably did go through a lot in 225 with the time off and feeling this and feeling that. And, health, whatever. I probably did go through a lot. Traveling. P-Funk show. I saw P-Funk 15 times last year. Football games, granddaughter parties, work. I probably need to do a synopsis of 2025 to help me understand and realize exactly what I accomplished, quote unquote accomplished, during that year. Because I do, for the most part, I do stay busy. For the most part, I do stay busy. I will say that. Or maybe not busy, but moving forward. Like I said, for years, maybe all my life, or decades and decades, maybe over a half a century, 50 years, pretty much everything that I did or thought about was focused on getting me to pretty much where I am now. Every little thing. If I went to the store to buy bubble gum, in the back of my mind, how's that gonna get me? How can I work that? Or how does that fit in to me getting to the life that I want, or eventually having the life that I want, and where I want to have it, and how to get there. Education-wise, I always believed in education. I always believed that I went to school and I got those papers, that's how you do it. I mean, I know it ain't for everybody. Everybody can't hand it out or grasp that. But I deeply did, and still believe that if you adhere to that model, that you could be successful. I wasn't worried about racism or being black or this or that. I'm sure that probably played into my career somewhere where I should have got things that I didn't get because I'm black. I'm sure I probably haven't, but I didn't notice. I can't look back and see one time where I was egregiously treated because of my race or whatever. Maybe because of my personality. That part I understand. You know, it could just be with my personality. And maybe somebody don't want somebody, not that I'm bragging, but dynamic or obnoxious or wild or free as I am on their team or in their shop. It could be more disruptive. And I gotta respect and recognize and respect that. Personality plays a lot into it too. So, but the bottom line was, like I said, I always believed. If you go to school, get your papers, get your degree, study hard, go out there, apply for jobs, impress them with resumes, because I was always articulate, personable. And now that I think about it, and I mean just now, it could be that even people saw me as a threat. This guy's too smart, too sharp. We don't want him in there like that. We don't want anybody that's sharp or capable. And it's also gonna be that they said, hey, this position ain't all that. You're gonna grow out of this position in a week. You're gonna be tired of doing this in a week. You're gonna have this all figured out. It'd be wanting to grow or get more too fast. We want somebody that's gonna sit in this corner and do this task repeatedly for decades and not ask for anything. And they could probably see in my personality and my energy that I probably wasn't gonna be that person. And they probably said, no, I'm gonna do you a favor and I'm going to not hire you because you looking to be too much. You looking to be too much for what we want to do here. So that factors in. Not sure why I went down that road, so far down that road, but it felt good. Or I might have been in autopilot and just streaming, not really thinking about what I was doing or saying. That happens sometimes. But here I am, getting ready for P-Funk, and I gotta get my oil changed. I gotta call the dealership, find out how it works. I think the dealer wanted $120 to change your oil. Fucking Jeffery Lube want the same amount. I guess the only difference with Jeffery Lube, they do it right then. But if you're gonna spend the money, might as well drop the car off. Get it back when you get it back. So, I want to see if I can make that happen for the driver. Ain't nothing like jumping in that damn car. I love my vehicle. I absolutely love my vehicle. I even love telling the story how I got it, but I might not do it here. It's just, it's the perfect car for me. Perfect vehicle for me. I just love that damn thing. Still after 6 years, maybe it's 8, 2018, almost 7, 8 years, Jesus. So I'm happy. Just get in that car, just me in the road, just me in the road. And you know I like to travel by myself. So we'll see. We'll see. Looking forward to it either way. Sometimes things happen in my life that where I feel I'm the luckiest person in the world. And things just be going so good sometimes I get embarrassed. I'm like, not do I deserve all this, but I look around and see people struggling with this or that, and I understand that we need all that. Everybody can't be, I hate to say it, but everybody can't be happy. Everybody can't be happy. And there's different degrees of happy. That could probably help clarify. There's different degrees of happy. There's different kinds of happy. One person's happy might be different than another person's, and not just necessarily in the things they want and do. It could be that being unhappy is what makes some people happy. Being unhappy or stressed or not traumatized, but drama or tension. I'm sure there's some people out there who that makes them happy. Because I remember Noah Fisher told me one time, he said, everybody has fear. Everybody has fear. It's how you respond to that fear. So these kind of base triggers or emotions or energies come to us from situations. How our body processes and reacts to it is the feeling we get. Let's just say something scares you or something happens that should scare you and trigger that base reaction before it even becomes an emotion, a reaction, and how you respond to that reaction. Because you can get the base, one person get the base reaction for quote unquote that usually leads to fear. Another person can get it and get excited about it. Like, yeah. You know, and the adrenaline turn on and they're ready to go. Whereas another situation may just put another person in a totally whole different emotional state. So I look around and I see people, you know, but I guess that's the way, in a way, it almost, not has to be, it doesn't have to be anything, but I guess that's the part that makes it special. Because parties aren't supposed to last 24/7. They ain't supposed to be Christmas. Every day is Christmas and every night is New Year's Eve. No, you need some downtime, or you need some regular time. You need some downtime or some regular time. And for me, to learn how to appreciate that. Because the bottom line, for the most part, is I'm completely happy alone. And how can you be happy with somebody else, but not be happy with yourself? But then again, like I just said, people are so different, and the diversity of life is what makes life work. I think the diversity in life is what makes life successful. We all can't be happy. We all can't be sad. We got different demeanors. We got different reactions. We got different everything. So, and that's probably why I really don't talk in absolutes. Because I've seen human beings do some stuff that's just mind-boggling. Never underestimate human beings in either directions. I don't use the word stupid, but there are things that people do that I don't understand. And that's where I would, in my younger days, call something stupid. And I did that until I understood what was going on and the logic behind it. Or why they did that. Their choice. That's what it is, their choice. Now, sometimes you could say, all right, so-and-so wanted to accomplish this. Why did they do that in an attempt to accomplish this? That's not logical. So, you might say, oh, that was stupid for them to do that. But no, once you talk to them and they tell you why they made that choice, it's no longer stupid. It's like a decision or a choice. And even though their logic can be flawed, I can understand why they did it, why they went that way, when, to me at the least, it seems going in another direction would have better helped them achieve what they wanted. So that's why I don't really use the word stupid or dumb anymore, because human beings are so diverse. We're so diverse and have so many different understandings and reactions and perceptions, and that there is no universal anything. There is no universal how to do anything. There's no one right way. That's me. That's me in my life. Make my funk the P-funk. And like I said, I'm feeling better, more capable, more energy. There's some things, chores I need to accomplish, administrative things in life. My mother's condo to prepare for the future and whatnot. And to get ready to anticipate what life has to bring, and that goes down for me financially and asset-wise and this and that, and my property, my equipment, my legacy, et cetera, et cetera. And then, top of all that, and I didn't even touch upon the Pittsburgh Steelers making the playoffs. Oh my God. You know all that I'm talking about? Pittsburgh made the playoffs on a very, very, very exciting game. A missed field goal. On the last play of the game. And we made the playoffs, and we look decent doing it. Looks like there's been improvement. You know, it's not how you start the year off. It's who's playing the best football at the end of the year. You're on the playoffs come. Well, it may not be who's playing the best football, because you got to get in the playoffs. It's who's playing the best football that made it into the playoffs. Because some team, they could be a team playing the best football, but they didn't make the playoffs because the beginning of their season started off so so horribly. So Pittsburgh, and they play on Monday. They play the last game. Pittsburgh played the last game of the season. And they're gonna play the last game of the first round of these wild card playoffs. Monday night. Pittsburgh and Houston in Pittsburgh. I'm like, and of all the teams, I don't think none of them got a dome. I don't think none of them got a dome. I gotta see how this is gonna play out. But I think they all gonna be in the cold Northeast. I think that's where all the teams are. Hell, I even take a Carolina. Jacksonville. Ooh. Jacksonville ain't cold. But, because I think I got it in my mind now that cold weather is too much. I think I'm cool watching it on TV. I think I'm cool watching it on TV and not fighting that cold. Even though it is a rewarding accomplishment, and there's nothing like being there. Oh my God, there's nothing like being there. I was there in Kansas City, and it was cold. Playoff game. That's my first one. That's the kind of thing that started off this whole travel thing. I remember exactly how it went down too. Started this whole travel thing. I'm sitting there. That's when I realized how easy or how capable I was to doing these things. I didn't realize that, I had I was making money, and this was out here, and I can jump on an airplane, go to a playoff game. I think I decided to go on a Thursday. I kind of figured it out on a Thursday and jumped on a plane Saturday. I was like, wait a minute, I can afford this. I can afford the ticket price. And I think that's really one of the first times that I really booked stuff online completely. And not the first time, but it's like one of the first times where, spontaneously, boom, boom, boom. Car, room, hotel. I was like, hey. And to go see a playoff game at Arrowhead. Pittsburgh won that game. Oh my God. And it was cold, freezing. It was nice. That's the life I live. Steelers, P-Funk, internet, philosophy, people, family, food, music, creativity, these podcasts, streaming consciousness, my job, probably what makes all this possible. Now I got to strategize. I was just going through my head my schedule for the rest of this week and next week, and how I got. Basically, my mother hit me up Think about, please come weekend. I'm like, oh God, didn't I just leave that place? I mean, and I came to a decision. I came to a decision. Or an understanding or whatever. Weekends, my days off, I'm spending by myself. I'm not going out there on the weekend. Unless my sister asks me, God, she want me to come out there and stay with her for the weekend or whatever. I do that for my sister. But my days off, I want to spend alone. My days off, I just want to be alone, to sit and to do whatever I wanted to do uninterrupted. And a lot of times, I don't really do anything. But do you know how important it is to be able to do nothing? Traveling alone, New Orleans, out back by Jack London Square, on the Mississippi, just sitting there. All I want to do is just sit there. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be jumping around. I didn't want no beignets. I just wanted to sit and just not think about nothing. I wanted to think about nothing. But just, and just to be able to stop and do that and I think I did it in New Haven, Connecticut one time. Just happened to have some time, out walking around looking for food or whatever. Sit down. Nice little chair, sitting by the water. I don't know if it was the ocean or whatever. I think it was the water there. And just to be able to sit without having to explain to anybody or justify it or anything. Just sit. That to me is one of the most important parts of freedom. There's the freedom to do what you want to do and to go where you want to go. And there's also the freedom to do nothing if you don't want to. And that one time I went someplace. Hell, it might have been. No, I don't think it was Paris. It was someplace. I stayed in a room all day. I did all this traveling. Got here, got there, or whatever. I stayed in the room all day. Traveled to some quote unquote exotic city or whatever, or traveled to some, travel destination. But if I didn't feel like doing nothing, hell, I stayed in the hotel. Stayed in the hotel room. I don't think it was New York or something like that. But it was, Hey! But it was a place where I thought, why ain't you outside? Why ain't you outside enjoying, the scenery or the place you're at? Because I didn't feel like it. I felt like being in the, being in the room, being in the bed. I think that one particular time was because I was tired. I was wore out. And I just had to say, forget it. I can't go. I can't go. I need to rest. And once I did that, and the rest caught up with me, I was a much better human being. Much better functioning human being. I don't think you could say better human being in almost any context. Because we really don't know what better is. You have to have some guidelines or a goal to determine what is better. Now I can say more capable, more of this, better at that, better than this. But to say somebody is just a better human being, I don't think is, I guess I can say it just don't make no sense. You know? Well, it does make sense if you know, depending on how you look at it. But it does make sense depending on how you look at it. But you got to put criteria in there. You know, some people can be, I'm better at this. I'm more capable at that. When it comes to like running fast, some people run faster than others. You know, they're better than this at running, et cetera, et cetera. But to be a better human being, I don't think we can say that. Because then we'd have to determine what that is. And I think that's based on the goal. The goal of our goal, the goal of life, the goal of humanity, or any subjective or particular goal you put on yourself. And the things that help you get to that goal efficiently or quicker, or attain that goal, is going to determine what is better and not better. Since we don't have a universal goal, since there is no universal goal, we can't say which human being is achieving that goal the best, or more or less than somebody else. So as far as being a better human being, it sure sounds good. And maybe for the most part we know what we're talking about when we say it. We can you get a general idea what people mean. You know, compare, you know, all this little stupid, I didn't mean to say stupid. I just said I don't say that. But I was just being, you know, sarcastic or funny. Facetious? Is that the word I was doing? I need to look that up to see what facetious means. All these little things, and they are stupid. Well, I guess I get you stupid in that situation because the word is almost defined to mean that in this case. No, probably shouldn't apply it to that, but you know, like being compassionate, being trustworthy, things that are just deemed to be what a good human being is. You know, everybody knows. Don't steal, don't lie, don't cheat, you know. Honorable, honest. We don't know. We don't know. And it may come down to who lives and who doesn't, who survives and who doesn't. Regardless of how, quote unquote, good of a person they are, or how charitable or how honorable or how respectful they are. If they survive and you don't, and I mean in the long run, as far as humanity goes, over humanity or any species, well, other species don't have consciousness. They run on instinct, so it really isn't, they don't really have a choice on a lot of the actions that they undertake, but it also could be that their evolution bred these reactions and tendencies in them, which may or may not lead to their success, which does have an impact on the success of their species. So it plays a part. But Darwinian evolution says the ones that are quote unquote successful breed more. So it's kind of a balance. And breeding more, the numbers, it could be argued, is the point. Not the fittest, not the smartest, not the strongest. The ones that breed the most. If you look around the hood, some of the people out there, men out there having 13, 14 kids, spread all out over the place. We're taught that's not the way to go. From the surface, looking at it from the surface, you'd be like, that's probably not good. But offspring may be the secret. The success of your genes. And the more of them you got out there, the better chance. So it's hard to say. It's hard to say what is and what ain't. It's not clear cut. Unless you believe in a doctrine or a Bible, or you put your own higher philosophy in place. You put your own goals of life, your own determination, the metrics of what success is. And once you do that, then you can start saying good or bad, up, down, left, or right. You gotta have that. You gotta have that overall idea of a destination or a goal to achieve or to accomplish. Anyway, Happy New Year's, people. P-Funk coming up. Steeler game. It's Thursday. I'm feeling healthy. Work is easy now and good. The day goes by fairly quickly. My work is getting better and better without even me realizing it. My performance is increasing. It's just good. Sun is out, shiny, a little bit chilly today. I think it's in the 50s. Feels like 48. A little bit of wind. I'm probably overdressed, but I like to be super warm. Been eating right, reducing my salt intake to a degree. Trying to regulate the black and miles to the weekends, I think. Because I quit for like 3 weeks. And then New Year's Eve, I was like, I'm gonna get one. It's New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, my birthday. And then I did that. And I think New Year's Eve was a Wednesday. So I was off Thursday. And I don't think I got another one. I think I went Thursday without one. And then Friday came and I got 3 for the weekend. Then I put them down. So we'll see how that works out. Anyway, feeling good. Feeling good. It's good. Feeling good feels good. You forget sometimes. You forget sometimes. Anyhow, Swinging on y'all. 2 times. For me, for the funk, and for every elementary particle that has ever existed in any atom in this or in any universe that ever was, is, or will be. The totality of it all. Theory of universe. Hypothesis of all as one. My name is Jeffery.